Hey everyone, this is Ergo Josh, and I hope you are all having a lovely holiday season so far. Today I just wanted to go back to do a few of my older style of videos. I was thinking of actually taking a break during this month, but I realized, you know what? I'm just going to do some, voiceovers, like, the old traditional art voiceover style of video that I used to do more often, and talk about some stuff that's been on my heart to tell you guys about lately. So, oftentimes people see ego as this super overbearing and arrogant attitude or emotion. People think, egotistical people drive, really big lifted cars with super loud engines, or they drive fancy cars to show off, and they're airheads. And, it's something that you just look at and you can see immediately. And it's like, oh, wow, this person, they're such an airhead, right? But I feel like, and I really feel like it's just a thing that it's a lot more subtle than that. It can be a lot more subtle than that. It can be something that you keep to yourself that nobody really notices a lot of time, especially when it comes to art. And it can be extremely detrimental to your growth and your experience in life in general. People, I think everywhere, even online, refer to me as somebody that's super chill, super laid back, and they would probably not describe me as the most egotistical or arrogant person they've met. However, personally, I am really struggling with dealing with ego, especially as it affects my art, but in other areas of my life as well. And that just goes to show you from there that it's not something that you would think is easy to see, and something that you might have to deal with yourself that you may not actually realize, because especially with art, it can prevent your growth and really prevent you from doing the things that you really want to do, right under your nose without you even knowing it. I don't really know how I kind of started on this journey the past few days, but I wanted to start improving my skills with my figure drawings, which is what you're watching now. And I realized that I had a really tough time every morning getting to that first drawing, because I knew I wasn't warmed up and it wasn't going to be that good, and I knew I would feel bad about it. And that's when I kind of realized the role ego plays, especially when it comes to line confidence and just confidence with your art in general. So I wanted to share my discoveries with you guys as I've been experiencing this lately, and hopefully it's going to help a lot of you, because I think it can be pretty serious if it goes unchecked for at least as long as it's been for me. So like I said before, ego really prevents your improvement, and the most clear, obvious way that happens is the inability to really handle critique, right? That's something I do, freely, usually when people ask on my stream, or for my, critique videos that I need to get back to soon. But hopefully Instagram gets their act together. But yeah, taking critique is actually a little challenging for me, and I can take it, I can hear it, right? But it still feels really uncomfortable. It feels like a jab in the chest, right? And I think it's not really something everyone's going to just love and be super happy to receive, right? It's not fun to be critiqued, but I think for me, it's just a little bit too painful. I don't think it should be that painful. It's something I just bite my lip and take it, and then later on I work on it, right? It's not a problem for me in that regard, because eventually, once I really get a handle on what the critique was about, if it's a good critique from somebody that I respect, it's like, oh wow, I see it now, and I just go all in on trying to fix it. But the reality is, if you place your ego in your artwork and your image of yourself as an artist, it makes complete sense that if somebody critiques your art or has something critical to say or negative to say about it, it's going to hurt you. And when your ego is harmed, it's uncomfortable, and we naturally have, defense mechanisms to go and fight it. I actually want to stop right here and kind of define ego for myself, because I think a lot of people can get it confused with confidence. They'll see like, oh, if I'm supposed to kill my ego, am I just going to become this super low confident person? But I think that's almost the opposite case. So for example, as I'm working on my figure drawings, the result is that I'm slowly breaking down this ego. I'm just like, I have to do so many figure drawings today and over the course of the next few months that it doesn't matter how this one does. It's all about the improvement, and I'm getting line confidence out of it. I'm doing bolder lines. I'm getting stronger muscles, stronger connections in my mind to hand neurological connections for drawing just simple curves and circles and stuff like that. And it's building up this confidence in my drawings that's pretty evident, even in just a few days of doing this. And so that's, directly inverse relationship as some people would think, is as my ego goes down, my line confidence is going up. And I think, ego is definitely something that we all need to have and keep in check, because it is related to confidence with things, because you can kind of relate it to self-esteem, right? Because you need to believe in yourself to a healthy degree to be able to perform in this world and do different things. You can't really pursue the things that you want if you don't believe that you're even worth it, or you don't believe that you can ever attain them, right? If you don't believe any of those things, then why would you do it, right? And a lot of us, individuals who think of ourselves as smart will likely not pursue anything that we don't see any value in, because we don't want to waste time, right? And we need some sort of confidence to be able to do that. But I think ego is oftentimes a defense mechanism, where it's our image of ourselves that we keep very precious in our minds somewhere, and anything that kind of harms it is something that's extremely painful, and we really, really fight to prevent that from happening. And we do that in a lot of different ways, and sometimes it's just in, refuting any critique or kind of dismissing it. I've done a few critiques when I had that option available on my Patreon, where I could tell someone was kind of like subtly dismissing everything. They were trying to ask specific questions when I was trying to say it's a much bigger issue that you need to take here. It's not, this question that you're asking isn't going to help solve this. And I kind of had to be direct with them to get them to be able to see that. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about, what that image of yourself should look like as an artist, because it really shouldn't be too much as an artist. It should be in something completely different. And if it's so focused on you and who you are as an artist, it's going to be very easy for you to be bogged down and to basically put yourself in a position where you're preventing your own growth, and you won't be able to achieve what you want to become as an artist, or more importantly, what you want to do as an artist. So another little personal anecdote that I wanted to share was kind of how I came up with my name, Ergo Josh. I think I've said this before, but I think I came across a really crazy realization lately because of how it came. The name came from a place of a little bit of depression when I was working in architecture, which I really want to talk about more in another video, probably do that soon. But I was really kind of lonely, and just I didn't fit in anywhere at work. I realized this is not the life that I thought I was going to be living after I graduated college. And so I started getting into my artwork after the encouragement of one of my coworkers, and I decided to call myself Ergo Josh because I was thinking of a longer name, Art Ergo Josh, which ergo, or pronounced ergo, is Latin for therefore. And so the sentence would read, Art therefore Josh. And so the idea behind that was all right, I'm Josh. There's nothing really important that you need to know about me. But if you see my art, then you basically see me. Because I felt I didn't have a personality. I felt like I was just this, unremarkable dude, just going through the motions of work and then going back home and rinse and repeat, right? So that's why I named myself that. But now, looking back, I'm thinking, oh, I almost thought lately, maybe I should change that, because I know I'm not a useless person anymore. I didn't think of myself as useless, but just so insignificant, right? And now I don't see myself that way, but I still think the name holds true, because Art therefore Josh is me getting out of the way of my own work, and it's about my work. Everything is about my work, and everything is about the impact that it has, or the story that I want to tell, or the message that I want to send. And I think that's a great name for how I want to pursue everything going forward. And I don't want to have this idea of myself and, as this artist, be clouding my view and making me make bad decisions on what I should do and pursue on my journey as an artist, as it were. Because it's I am on a journey as an artist. I do want to brand myself. I do want to, establish that brand. But at the same time, the focus should be on the content itself. So yeah, I realized that I actually am super comfortable with that name, and I think it really resonates with what I want to do going forward. And I think it's something that everybody should do. I think it's good to put your ego, put yourself in something bigger than just who you are, and almost see yourself as just a vessel, something that could be almost replaced. Like, really try to reduce yourself in that way and focus on, what do you want to do? What do you want to say with your art? Why do there's got to be something about it that makes you passionate, because I think us artists are a different breed, whether it's musicians, different creatives, regardless of what type of content you make. We sit down and we work hard on things in a dark room somewhere sometimes, and we just make stuff without talking to people. And I think that it's just something special that we are able to do that and become this vessel for something bigger than us, a lot of times, especially as we get more advanced and our fundamentals are to a place where we almost feel limitless in what we want to say. And I think that should be the thing that's in focus, not necessarily ourselves and this image that we have. I started thinking about how crazy it was, that wow, I actually created this image of myself, and as this YouTuber, it actually made me really concerned. And it influenced a lot of what do you call that anxiety you have over your identity, imposter syndrome. Yeah. And I got a little bit of that here and there, and I actually got it recently when I received an opportunity. I'm like, I can't do this. And then I realized, what if it didn't matter that I had such and such subscribers? And what if I was just some random person? And, a few years ago, and it was like at a convention and they picked me out of the crowd, would I say no? I probably would have said yes to this opportunity. So I'm like, okay, well, then I should just do it and not care if I suck and if it's something I'm not experienced in, and just enjoy that experience for itself and, contribute to the event that it is. And so I was like, wow, I wish there was some way for me to just kind of remove all of this, just instantly just delete all this image or heightened image of myself as this influencer, artist, YouTuber. But I realized, I obviously can't do that. I'm not going to delete my channel or anything, but I'm just going to do my best to allow myself to create content just like I did in the beginning of my channel, which is why this video is so laid back, and just create stuff and not care about how I may look or what I should be doing at this level. It's just, what do I want to put out there and the effect I have, and it's the content in and of itself and what I know I would have appreciated, looking back on my own journey, and, the self that I wish could hear this. What would that person have wanted to see? How would they want to have heard that content or receive that content? And that's just how I'm going to do it going forward. It's all about seeing yourself not really as yourself, but as the art that you want to make, seeing yourself in valuing yourself and putting your ego in the story you want to tell, or the impact you want to have on people, or again, the message. That should be your focus. It shouldn't be, oh, I am such and such the artist, right? You don't want to have that as your goal, because that's so abstract and it's so stressful. And it has so much, you'll be concerned about so many things that don't matter. But if all you're focused on is the result and the product, then it's like, it's so freeing. It's just you getting better. So I want to make something that's more, that tells a story, right? I'm not going to get into the details, because life just has a way of smacking you in the face if you want to make this big claim, right? So I'm doing a lot of figure drawings to try to get my speed up and improve that. And I'm just trying to get rid of my biggest thing is like, I want to get rid of the ego of making a bad drawing, so that when I start a drawing in the beginning of the day, I don't have a fear of, it's going to turn out bad. I just want it to just flow, right? And I'm already sensing that I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with that, and it's really exciting. And it's because I'm putting the passion in front of me, and that's the goal, right? Nobody can really take that away from me. If my YouTube channel died, if suddenly my Instagram channel was deleted, I still have the ability to tell the story. It's still me, right? But if my passion was to become this artist or this standard or this image, of myself out there, then that would really, really hurt, and that would be crippling, and I would create all of this defense in order to prevent that from happening, and that would just make me less likable of a person even, and more difficult to work with. And I think that that's something that we all really need to strive to do. Focus on what you want. And I think that's just going to make you more successful in general. Like, a lot of these meta things can seem so kind of boring and feel like you're leaving everything that you've ever loved behind. But you can honestly look at it in kind of a selfish way. When you lose your ego for stuff like this, it just makes you better. You improve faster, you make better work, you stand out, you're more desirable to work with, you're more desirable to just, as people just want to hang out with you. It's a really great thing to have. And so if that's the reason that you want to do it, then just go for it. And right now I'm just trying to slowly catch myself in different thoughts of like, okay, well, if I feel bad about this, then where's that coming from? Is it because I'm trying to create this image of myself and it's hurting that image? Well, I should change that. It's all about what I want to do. It's all about what I want to put out there. And I think that's one of the signs of, a professional artist is, do you have something that you want to share? Do you have something that is beyond you, bigger than you, that you want to do? And bigger than you doesn't have to mean change the world. It can literally just mean something that can last longer than your flesh, right? Your body. Because at the end of the day, whatever image you have of yourself, it's not even your body. It shouldn't even be that. If your image of yourself is closely related to your looks, then anyone who threatens your looks or anything that threatens your looks, age is just going to just ruin everything. And you're going to be in so much pain, and you're going to be trying to fight so hard to find immortality and, anti-aging creams or whatever. But if that's not who you are, it's beyond your body, then it's something really special that nobody can take. And it's something that you can freely pursue and develop, and it's just going to end up being something more and more beautiful as time goes on. So that's going to be it from me. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope I have enough content filmed for this. It feels good to get back to doing these kind of videos again. Let me know if you want to see and hear more. I was always thinking of doing a podcast channel, but I'm like, why not just put them here on YouTube, right? You guys are here, and maybe one day I'll scrap them up and put them on a podcast as well. But I think it's just good to be able to give you guys back my thoughts as fresh as they come, just like how I used to do. So happy holidays and keep drawing, stay safe. We're going to make it to 2021, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.